What's going on, boys and girls? Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Mind Games, and it's one that's quite a bit talked about, so strap up. Let's go for that ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I'm your host for the afternoon. Today from the house of Mind Games, we have the infamous Grandmaster. This is classified as a unisex, amber, warm, spicy. Came out in 2022 with a rating of 4.13 out of 5, so creeping into mass appeal territory. Definitely a gotta get your nose on it type of fragrance. Fragrance I'm seeing discounted at around $367. I've seen it go as low as $2 to $250. Let's see what it's hitting for. Shout outs to Shan for this sample. And this is going to take me a second to crack open. Jeez, it's like bullets in a casing or something. Okay. If you hear my son in the background, I just don't have it in me to tell him to be quiet because we got the day off tomorrow. I'm just letting him have a good time with my youngest. Ooh, it smells really nice in the air. Okay, give it a couple sprays on the test strip. And amber spicy, let's see what that's hitting for. Interesting. I kind of get like a slightly sweet, gourmandish, slightly incensey, woody fragrance. Yeah, it's like an incensey, woody, sweet fragrance, ambery. It's a nice fall winter kind of jam. On my skin, it kind of feels like more of a candied version of Philosophia from day 3. This kind of like chocolate oud, but very fresh, very more ambery, warm, reddish tint kind of fragrance. But it's definitely got this woody kind of chocolatey amber thing going on, but it's a lot less chocolatey than Philosophia. Yeah, it's just a deep, rich, ambery, woody, spicy, candied, sweet fragrance that leans in the chocolate category. I'd be surprised to not see patchouli in here. It's got a coffee-ish vibe even for that chocolatiness that I'm getting. Let's definitely switch screens and see what we're dealing with here. Oh, it's a rose scent. I could see that, but it's more this coffee with the rose around it. So rose water, black currant, peony up top, May rose, coffee, violet in the mid, incense, myrrh, ebony, and panettone. Panettone, what's that? Sweet gourmand smells. Yeah, I get that. Kind of like a candleish baked bread kind of vibe, but more in the chocolatey incense resin realm. If you're a man looking at this note pyramid, don't look at this like an ombre nomad Kajal Amar type of thing. And also don't look at it as a feminine scent, because I think that this is literally dead perfect unisex. And I also think the emphasis of this fragrance is the coffee, incense, myrrh, and panettone, not the rose. The rose is giving this, and in fact, I even get more peony than rose. That's just providing this kind of candy floralness to it. It's got the ombre nomad kind of rosy candied light finish on the top, but below it, it's all coffee, all woods, resin, incense, and a bit of a gourmand chocolatey thing. A good amount of incense. It's not as smoky as it is resinous. And there's an odd amount of freshness to this, but a really good amount of body. I would classify this as middle to heavyweight kind of smell. This is loungy. Well, we'll talk about occasions in a second here, but let's just see. So tons of votes for kind of mid-range sillage of about 2 to 3 feet, but very long lasting. I imagine you easily get above 6 hours. I don't so yeah, on the test strip, it's quite faint on the dry down. Definitely put this on skin. Yeah, this is cool. I'm not like blown away by it, but definitely, for a coffee fragrance, it leans more kind of dry woods and coffee-ish, or sorry, dry woods, resinous, incensey, but it's got that chocolate thing going on in the background. I'm actually very impressed with this. Let me give you guys some usual suspects here and kind of summarize this, because it's not that complex of a scent, but it's a great scent. It's full-bodied, it's rich, it's got the depth that you want, but it's got a modern freshness to it. The more complex I get with a scent, the more I like it to be more middleweight. Now, if it's cold outside, then I want it to be heavy, because the air will kind of diffuse it, and it can kind of contend with the contrast of a brisk air. But if without brisk air, I don't like heavy fragrances at all. So yeah, seasons, definitely fall, winter. Occasions, I see this as a lounge scent, a date night scent, sitting by a fire. You know, if you like your kind of by the fireplace or La Tacita cafes, your Tonka Colas, your Amore cafes, your Kamarakawas, it's down that lane, but it smells closest to Philosophia with a little bit more of a resinous, soft, woody emphasis. It's not the most chocolatey fragrance, but it kind of is entry gourmand. But it, again, the fact that it leans so much on the woods and resins really makes it entry gourmand, because you won't smell like a snack. You'll smell like a slightly edible man. As far as unisex, I don't find women to be drawn to this. It's quite woody, ladies. So, and it's quite incensey. So incense and woods, I find women can mess with that type of stuff, but there typically has to be more of a floral emphasis within that, you know, your black orchids, your black opiums, you know, that kind of style. This is a little bit away from that, but I think a woman could pull it off. But light sprays, ages for this, I feel like it's a 25 to 30 and up men's fragrance. It does have a masculine lean to it. Sprays, casually going 4 to 6, but if it's cold weather, I'm going 6 to 10 easy. Spraying it, whenever I get that aggressive out the trigger, I put that stuff under my shirt and closer to the skin and arms. That way I'm waving it around. Not always, but in this case with something like this, I would want it to really hug close and project out from the clothing. Something that somebody comes in, gives you a hug, and is like, whoa, you smell super edible and sophisticated. Library, lounge, date nights, taking a girl to a show or a theater, outdoors, casino, dressed up. I could see this really fitting in a kind of upscale, casual, cold weather, but mostly a semi-formal ordeal. It feels a bit juvenile, a bit too edible for super formal, but to each his own. Again, the price is north of $300, pushing the $400 mark, but I've seen it go as low as about $200. Philosophia from day 3. Again, it's going to be less resinous, more chocolatey, oody, but that fragrance sits around the $150 price point. This is a strong competitor against it. I wouldn't be mad at anybody for owning this, but I don't know if you need 100 ml of this unless you really live in cold weather. I think a travel spray would be a great way to make this a signature scent that you just kind of pop in your rotation. Even a 50 ml, but I don't think Mind Games offers a 50 ml from what I've seen. So if you can get a travel set from some travel spray from a vendor, that would be ideal, I think. And I feel the same way about Philosophia, honestly. Like, travel spray, signature scent, pop out. Don't let anybody remember it on you for a long time unless you're going to a specific place over and over. Alternatives to this, obviously, you have Philosophia. You have La Tacita de Café, which is more of a coffee emphasis, but still has some edibleness to it. There are a lot of great coffee scents out there, but it's kind of slipping my mind. I'm going Philosophia with a close second to La Tacita de Café. As a score, I really give this like a 9. You know, if I was decimaling it, I would give it a high 8, 8.5, 8.7, something like that. But I'll round that up. I don't mind giving this a 9 at all. It's signature scent worthy. It's fresh. It's modern. It's versatile in the cold weather category. It's edible. It's got different facets going on. It's got enough depth, but not too much. I'm a fan of this. This is really well done from Mind Games. And I see the ability to layer this. You know, you could go cherry, you could go chocolate, you could go more smoky, you could go woody, you could go vanillic. I could just see a lot of versatility as a layering scent with this. Even oils to be able to manipulate that side of things. This could be a super utility fragrance for that side of the coin. Again, this was Grandmaster from Mind Games. Have you guys put your nose to this at all? Let me know in the comments section below. What are your go-to coffee, chocolate, edible scents? Again, don't see all that rose in here and think it's a super heavy rosy scent. It's definitely not. I get more peony in the opening, but most of those florals dry out, and kind of what you're left with is this woody, smoky, chocolatey, light chocolatey, kind of what was the emphasis there? Kind of more the coffee type of vibe. Women, tread carefully. Definitely get your nose on it before you pick something like this up. But let's get a conversation going in the comments section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hope it was helpful for you. If you have any additional questions, please let me know in the comments section below. I'll get back to you guys very quickly. And again, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. And until next time, this is SB signing off. Peace.